video, I wanted to do a video that I haven't done before, mainly because I'm not very good at speaking about things that, this is really stupid, why would you have a YouTube channel if you're not very good about speaking about things you love? I'm just not very good at explaining how I feel about things. I'm like vocally, I'm much better at writing things down. And also like, oh, the dog next door is so annoying. Basically, the guys next door go out every single day, pretty much all day, every day, and leave the dog inside, and it yelps and barks all day long, and it's like, I feel so sorry for the dog, firstly, but also secondly, it's like so infuriating trying to work when there's a dog constantly barking. Like, why would you have a dog if you're not at home? Like, it really bothers me. Like, it's not fair on the dog. And we've written to the council and haven't had a reply from them, so there's not really anything else you can do about stuff like that. But yes, if you can hear barking, I am really sorry. So yes, I'm not the best at using my words vocally. I am better at writing things down, but I have like made a promise to myself this year that I was going to read more. I said I would set myself a challenge to read a book every single month, because I thought that that would be more achievable than saying I wanted to read X amount of books, or saying like a book a month isn't loads. It's also could be seen as quite a lot, so I just thought it was like the most achievable thing for me, and I've actually read more than that already. So I have read so many great books lately that I just wanted to sit down and do a bit of a book haul, really. It's books that I've purchased over this year and have read. It's not all of them, but just a few of my favourites that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So yeah, I'm just going to go through them. The first one is by Maggie Nelson, who wrote the really famous book Argonauts, I think that's how you say it, which I haven't read, which I definitely should, and this is called Bluets. And having suffered with depression this year, I have a few books in here that have really helped me with that, and Bluets is one of them. So it says that Bluets winds its way through depression, divinity, alcohol and desire, and basically it's a really unconventional book actually. It's just literally numbered, and it's just really small paragraphs that explain feelings that are completely unrelated to one another and events that are completely unrelated to another, but it flows really beautifully. It's just a very unusual book, but I found so much peace in it. I read it in a day. It's not very long, and like something that really draws me to books is the covers, and I think that this one is beautiful. So before I'd even read what it was about, I was like, oh, I want to know what this book is, and it's just really beautiful. Maggie is an incredible writer, and like it's really powerful. It's a really powerful read. Next up is a book called Stumm, and it says 10-year-old Jonah can't speak, but it's time his family listened. And this is a book by Jem Lester, and I thought this book was just absolutely beautiful. It's a really kind of open and honest read about how a family struggles with living with a child with a disability, and it's really intelligent, it's really heartwarming, it's incredibly relatable. Like, I feel like even if you don't know what that is like to have a family member with a disability, it gives you a kind of newfound understanding for the difficulties that a family will come across, and it's essentially kind of about the breakdown of a family and the journey that they go on with their little boy to try and make all of their lives a better quality. It's really, really good. Next up is Michael Rosen's Sad book. Now, this is actually technically classed as a child's book, and my cousin bought this for me when I was kind of first open and honest about how I'd been feeling, and I think that this is my favourite book ever. It's illustrated by Quentin Blake, so you might recognise his stuff from a lot of Roald Dahl's books, and it's the most accurate description that I have ever been able to see about depression and how that feels, and it's just, oh, it's incredible. If you know anybody that is sad or suffering with depression or has had a loss, or even if you don't, like, I really do feel like everybody should own this book. It's really, really powerful. The pictures are incredible. I could read it every single day, and it just makes me feel better because it makes me feel less alone. And it is sold in bookshops, but I think it's quite difficult to come across, so I think maybe it would be best to order it online. But yeah, really, really beautiful book. And another one that, so all of these books are kind of a little bit sad and different to normal books potentially that I would pick up. This follows a similar vein to a sad book called Grief is the Thing with Feathers, God, and that's by Max Porter. And I'll read you this. It says, once upon a time there was a crow who wanted nothing more than to care for a pair of motherless children. In a London flat, two young boys faced the unbearable sadness of their mother's sudden death. Their father, a Ted Hughes scholar and scruffy romantic, imagines a future of well-meaning visitors and emptiness. In this moment of despair they are visited by Crow, antagonist, trickster, healer, babysitter. This sentimental bird is drawn to the grieving family and threatens to stay until they no longer need him. This extraordinary debut, full of unexpected humour and emotional truth, marks the arrival of a thrilling and significant new talent. And it's, again, like, all of these books are really beautiful, really poetic, and like just such a different and refreshing way to recognise grief and sadness, and how I just feel like we've not had books like this in the past, where you can really relate to something and see, it's just something that really, really hits you. Like, it's very, very dark, and it's also really funny, and like made me feel really like good. You really, like, everybody should read this. It's really good. I feel like I'm just saying every book is really good. They are, and this is what I mean when I say I'm not great at this kind of thing. So if you feel like these videos are a bit of a flop, please tell me in a nice way, because I won't do them again if they're not very helpful. I feel really passionately about all of these books, so if you do like it, then do let me know, and I'll try and get a little bit better at explaining things. The next one is The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories, and this is just a book of short stories by Tim Burton. Tim Burton is my favourite. All of his films, like Nightmare Before Christmas is my favourite film, and anything by him I just really love. I really love his illustrations, and just everything he does I think is really magical and different. And again, he does a really good job of touching on difficult circumstances in a really beautiful way, and this kind of really beautifully demonstrates how difficult it is to be going through adolescence and being a younger child and being an outsider and not feeling included. And it's just lots of little short stories about that, you know, if you've ever felt like not part of the crowd, you'd totally be able to relate to. And again, I read this in like half an hour because it's just super short stories, but it's really, really good. And then the last book is a book by Victoria Riddell, I think that's how you say it, and it's called Before Everything. And again, it is a sad book, but this book is a fiction, so it's obviously not real, and it's about a friendship. So it's about a group of friends that have been friends since they were little, and they call themselves the Old Friends. And there's a group of them and they've been friends forever, and it's all about their friendship and their relationships and love and life and the difficulties of it. And one of the main character is Anna, who has cancer and is dying of cancer, and it's all about their kind of relationship whilst going through that, and the other people in Anna's life, and it's just really beautiful. Like, I am quite a morbid reader. I really do like reading books about these kind of things. Like, it really interests me, and I really love crime as well. And this, I haven't read anything else by her, and I can't wait, because she is such a beautiful writer that this was what inspired me to, I read 4 books in a week after reading this, because when I feel really inspired by somebody's writing, it just makes me want to read more, and she did this. Like, I read this super quickly and just loved every single second of it. I just couldn't recommend it enough. It's a real heartbreaker. Like, it's very sad, but it's also just really joyous as well, and so relatable again with friendships, and like really not in a boring way as well, because I feel like, oh, everybody's got a friend, and like everybody's got groups of friends, and how could you make that interesting? And it really is. It's so beautiful, and I think that this should be a film because I think it would be marvellous. So yes, that is the last book, and that is all of the books for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Like, I always want to talk about things that I'm passionate about, and reading is definitely one of them, and it's just not something that I've really touched on much before. So I hope that you liked it. If you did, please let me know, and yes, any constructive criticism would be welcomed, and I will see you all in my next video, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.